Hello, and welcome to another episode of Scrubby Stories, brought to you by Little Piggy Bank, the bank that knows where your money is, and unscented big candles. No scent. Now, today I want to tell you a story. It takes place deep within the woods of Canada. Way, way in the woods. The story is called Wherever the Rainbow Ends. It's the story of a tree cutter who was married to a bowler, professional bowler. She was large, had huge forearms, but she was a very, very good cook. And she knew how to bake not only good cookies, but she knew how to take care of her man by taking care of her man. So, one day, a couple decided they wanted to have children. So they tried one time. And then after that time, they never tried again, because the husband passed out and died. Well, the bowler woman, her name was Bobby. She cried her little brains out. It was a very sad afternoon for her, especially since he died on the front steps where they were trying to make the children. It was a very hidden part of the woods that they lived in, and so they could... Anyway, he died, and she buried him right there under the porch where they also buried the dog. Sorry. These are very true and sudden stories. So, anyway, back to our story. Several years passed. She bowled and tried to keep up with the payments on the house, but realized that it was too much for her. So she decided to sell the house and buy a little fort. She bought a little tree fort. Yes, she did. And, she never stopped thinking about her husband underneath the porch with the dog. Sorry. Time went by, and she made friends with the squirrels. Damn it. It was a very difficult story to tell. Anyway. So, one day, while she was napping, she woke up to the sound of a talking squirrel. She woke up to the sound of a talking squirrel, smoking a pipe, drinking all of her beer. He looked her straight in the eyes and said, "You could be having a better life than this. There's more for you out there. There's more for you everywhere. All you need to do is take hold of it said the squirrel with the beer. He was there with his wife and 17 other children. They were gathered around eating nuts and going through her clothes. She was very, very, very frightened at first and sleepy because she had just woken up. But she realized that this squirrel was true. So he looked into his eyes as he was looking into hers and said, "What is your name, little squirrel?" They call me Pitch. And this is my wife, Toss. We're Pitch and Toss. And these are our kids: Bucky, Wild, Zipper, Tony, Leather, Quant, Torque, Bill, and Steve. And all the rest were named other things, but those were the ones they loved the most. Anyway, the squirrel turned to her and said, "Listen, there's something for you out there. We want you to find your treasure. We want you to be rich millionaire." He was an Asian squirrel. "We want you to be rich millionaire," he said. "And we want to teach you karate." So they took up lessons right away. There was nothing else she could do. Her husband was buried under a porch, and she doesn't live there anymore, and she lived in a fort in the woods, and so she started learning karate. And the squirrels taught her karate every day until she got good enough and strong enough. She went out into the woods. She started kicking butt. She started with some of the little creatures and showed off her kung fu and started hurting some of the other. And then pretty soon she was well known around the forest as just the one to get things done. And if you needed help, then you knew where to go to. Now, it came a time when there was that time she came back to the squirrels and said, "I want my money now. I want my due." They said, "You've got to find a rainbow." So she took her hose, she sprayed it in the air during the sunlight and saw the rainbow. And there was a leprechaun. And she kicked the crap out of him and stole his gold. And now she lives in a fort made of solid diamonds, rubies, and mink coat. And that's the end of our story. And I hope you all learned a good lesson from this. Don't move to Canada. Don't ever marry a boulder. And enjoy life with the squirrels. Amen.